lounging, son.
All right, welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name's Ryan, and back with me again, I got my boy Mahdi Khene with me. His famed Steel Street series, talking about issue number one. We've talked about this in our interviews. I think I've probably had you on more than some people. I think this might be like our fourth or fifth video together. I'm not sure, but I'm very excited to go through this like page by page with you. You are working on, as of now, issue 7.
Yeah, the conclusion of season 1.
I mean, we got all these. You got a toy.
Yeah.
You got some stickers.
There you go.
And you got the mini zine. I got the whole pack. I got everything, dude. Anything Steel Streets that comes my way, I buy.
That's great.
Look at this toy, dude. It's so dope. I can't decide if I want to open it or not, but that's neither here.
That's the toughie. That's the toughie.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there. We're gonna talk issue 1. You've already kind of given the backstory, at least in terms of how you did it. So this is just going to be the pure creator commentary on the book. But yeah, for anybody that hasn't picked it up, if you want to just give a quick elevator pitch, just to jump in.
Well, it's kind of my homage to the comics of the 80's. A little bit heavily influenced by the Ninja Turtles, RoboCop, all the good stuff. It's just high octane 80's comics, and it's about a amnesiac ninja who must seek revenge, but finds himself in predicament after predicament.
Yeah, I remember because like I was telling somebody the other day that when you and I first talked, I think you only had like 3 or 4 books out. I think you have close to 20 now. Is that right?
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah. So Steel Streets wasn't even out yet.
No, and, 3 comics at the time, I think.
Yeah, and it's crazy, dude. Look, I mean, you've blown up, obviously, like we talked about in past episodes that when we've chatted. But this one was just like something different, dude. This one definitely struck a chord with a lot of people, I think. So we open up. First of all, I love how you always do the dates, like 86. That's your callback to the 80s. But here you have it. I don't think I noticed, or no, that's just the publication date. Yeah. I was gonna say, for some reason I didn't notice that. Why it says New York, 2022, but then I realized, no, that's where you're from. That's why you're
right. You got the legality, I guess.
Yeah.
You gotta keep it straight.
So yeah, just take us through it, dude. Like,
So that first page came out because I was just kind of doodling, actually, because this is the only issue I did at this. I drew it at size.
Oh, okay.
So the original art is the same size as that. I just it was a watercolor paper that I would I wanted to see what it would be like to draw it at 6 inches by 8 inches. So it was just kind of like sketchbook kind of stuff. So I just kind of was doodling one day, and this guy came about. Like, if you can see, I don't know, the costume is super different from later on. Like it slowly, as things go, it starts to evolve as you keep drawing it, you know?
Of course, yeah. I mean, you definitely, like, even if you just compare the art from like this issue to the later issues, you just watch and you can see the progression of like the growth. You're more comfortable in the world and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think I remember, didn't you tell me like this one, you didn't really like know, you didn't have any plans for this. So
I still don't, honestly.
But the world is more fleshed out past this issue, because this is the smallest issue of everything in Steel Streets.
Right, yeah, it was kind of like the teaser. I just wanted to give a taste of it was meant to be just a one-off. It was supposed to be just a little zine with no real story behind it. That's why everything is kind of not cryptic, but it's just very kind of vague, you know. There's no names really said. Maybe actually, no, at the end there's a few names, but it's just sort of it was never meant to go past this issue, because I was actually working on the 7th issue of the superhero series, and where that helmet was supposed to be on Z, scrapping that and doing this whole thing after this. I just fell in love with the character. I don't know.
Yeah, it's an awesome character. I love the, also, like I think I've talked about it in the past with you, like the panel choices, the way that you paste the book too. I love stuff like this. You know, you got the cross off.
Well, you know, I try to see everything as, the problem is that when I make comics, because I'm new to the game, so I don't know how to, you know, I don't know what the quote unquote actual approach is. It's just sort of, I see it kind of like as movies, you know. And so I try to just see like what would be the shot. So it's moving in my head, you know. I'm visualizing the actual scene, and then I try to just take the moment that I want, that I think would show the action best, you know.
And then what was the choice to do the black and white with just the one color? I mean, for the most part, it's all the entire series is black, white, red, but
Yeah,
then you got the teal in
yeah,
issue
yeah,
6
yeah.
and 7. But that's jumping ahead. But anyways, what was the choice behind that?
Well, I did it originally in black and white, like just like black and gray, like you see.
Mhm.
And then honestly, I was just like, yeah, it'd be nice. That was basically it. Just to kind of throw in a little color, a few accents. I tried it with and without, and I liked it with. I thought it added a little kind of, it's 80s, but it brings it a little bit into the 21st century, you
Yeah, love your fucking lettering.
know.
Yeah, it's funny looking back at this because I haven't looked at it in a while. Obviously, it's since I first got it, but
Yeah.
there really is nothing to lead you to what the series becomes, you know?
Oh no. I mean, there's the compound,
Yeah.
there's that, and there's him. I mean, I'm like, yeah, look at his suit. Those little connectors on his metal thing, the boots. I mean, originally I think he was gonna be like a dude that goes to, techno German nightclubs and just, it's like it was had a whole different idea behind it.
Yeah.
He was never gonna be like the whole Hiroshi and all that stuff came in issue two. Here it was super ambiguous. I didn't know what I was gonna do with it. And even the lettering, I hand lettered it, everything. It was supposed to be really just an 80s zine. I don't know how it kind of took a life of its own.
Dude, people, I think especially of our generation, you got the kayfabe channel, you got like, I mean, me, I'll even speak on myself, dude. Like, I love 80s black and white stuff, and yeah, I was either not born or I was just born when it was coming out.
Right.
But as I've gotten older and going back and looking at this stuff, the energy that's in there, there's just something that speaks to like to I don't say pure comic book fans, but to like comic book fans that can appreciate the craft and like and the energy that was coming out in that day. And I think you captured it so well here. And then obviously like when you're gonna do an homage of Turtles,
Right.
like people love that shit. And I think it was just a really good time as the synergy of like you have the kayfabe channel too, and then
Yeah.
not only do you do that, but then you also do you do something like this, and people just like, I mean, I know you blew it. I remember seeing it, dude. I mean, you sold out quite a bit. So,
Yeah, it was quick.
and like, it's cool to still see people talking about it. Like, so I think somebody posted on Facebook and Instagram. I can't remember who it was, but I was like, yeah, dude. When I was talking to him, he didn't have it, and I just posted each video we had together, and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, go check it out. You can watch the progression of,
Oh no way.
yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah,
I mean, absolutely. Yeah, it all kind of, I mean, I think when you do something for the passion of it, people can feel it, maybe,
hmm
because I mean, in terms of comic book writing, like my stuff isn't necessarily like it's not, artsy, quote unquote, you know what I'm saying? It's not, I'm not Bill Sienkiewicz here, in my mind, like a page is meant to be turned. If you're not turning the pages, then you're not engulfed in the story. You're not curious, so I'm not doing my job as a comic book maker.
That's funny that you say that because I mean, it's not doesn't relate necessarily to this, but relates to what you said is that I was saying to somebody like, man, sometimes I feel like I'm rushing through a comic because I read it too fast. And
Right.
they compare it to, they're like, well, no, that's what you're supposed to do. If it takes you
Exactly.
too long to get through the comic, then that means you're not really enjoying it. So if
Right.
you are reading it fast, that means you're enjoying it and you're getting through it. And like that's what it's meant to do. You're meant to get through it, not sit there forever. And
Right. I
you know,
mean, for sure. I want people like to read my comics in 10 seconds, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
then you can go back and labor over the details because you read comics.
yeah.
You read them, you get the story, you take it all in, and then you go back and then you get all the little details and you get the little like little things. Like I've forgotten, Hank's hand there. He a little crunch crunch, like little jokes, little details, little things that you get later.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing that either.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
know what I
know.
mean? Little things, yeah.
That's what I love about going through it with, you, and like I've gone through some stuff with other cartoonists as well, is that like I not only do I get to see stuff at a different angle, but like also hearing it from your perspective is always fun. And I know that, other people dig hearing that. Like the choice to use a frog. I love that.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, because like for the most part, like he doesn't. he doesn't look necessarily like a frog. So at first glance, you wouldn't even know unless
Yeah,
you tell us.
for sure. 'Cause, I mean, kind of in the superhero universe, it borders on the insane, on the a little bit like exaggerated and crazy, but also kind of real, So I was thinking,
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah, frog DNA, but it would just be inside. It wouldn't necessarily have to look like a freak. Like you could just kind of,
Yeah.
what I mean? It's just happening in his blood. It's not, it doesn't need to be shown.
And I just love it. He's like, who am I? What am I? Where am I? Why am I?
Yeah, exactly. That's just me being existential about my life.
Yeah.
And then, finding like, what is the line in there where he says, I feel amphibious. That's how he gets to it.
Yeah. 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 Oh, I remember now. Part frog, part man.
Yeah.
Soldier hero, experiment, frog, freak, monster. They tried to
Yeah.
kill me tonight. Too strong to kill. Kill. Yeah.
It's
And then
just
I love, dude, this is so good too. Like, I don't think like I mean, I knew when I was reading it, but then
mm,
seeing it again here, like you have all the weapons
mm,
of the Ninja Turtles, but then you got
right.
these. And that's what he chooses. Like, of course, like you're not gonna have him choose the Ninja Turtles weapon, you're gonna have him choose something different.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Actually, I remember, because at this point I'd only been making comics like seriously for what was the cover date on this? Like the July or something?
Oh, in July? Yeah,
Yeah,
July.
July. So 7 months. Because Black and Red came out in January of that year.
Mhm.
And then yeah, 7 months later I came this. So I'm still kind of sinking my teeth into the world of comics and trying to push myself a little bit. And I remember very clearly doing that panel with the weapons and figuring out the shadow of the window of him, that it's down, it wouldn't be, you know what I'm
Oh, I
saying?
didn't realize it. Yeah, you did it reverse.
Yeah, that it would be kind of, but I like that was like the hack. I remember doing that and being like, oh yes,
Yeah.
I've unlocked something, like the perspective of it. And I remember doing that and being
How hard
very,
was that too, doing the lettering backwards?
I mean, that wasn't too bad. It was is it even accurate? It could be wrong.
No, it's
I think
right.
is it okay?
Yeah, yeah, it's right.
Right.
I mean, look, I don't. If we didn't even talk about it, I probably wouldn't
Yeah.
have even thought about it. I would have been like, yeah, it's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's on the page.
Oh, dude, I love this.
Yeah, because all this was drawn to size. I remember I had to kind of adjust my style a little bit. So you see that kind of the faces are a little cruder and the buildings are a little, it's all kind of impressionistic a little bit.
So this is the only one that was drawn to actual size.
Yep.
Everything else is drawn in the size that I mean, I've seen your artboards before. You've shown me.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Is that a
Everything.
fucking? Is that a Hiroshi stuffed animal behind you?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Let me see that, dude.
Got it as a little gift. Look at this.
Dude, that is fucking amazing.
Is that crazy?
That's this is nuts, dude. Yeah, this is who gave that to you?
Oh, my brother.
That's fucking awesome.
Isn't that insane? I mean, I'm fully insane with my with my universe, man. I've gone I've gone all in. Let me fix it. Yeah, I've gone full in with the stuffed animals, the toys, the things. I'm all or nothing, right?
Yeah, dude. No, look, I mean, it's cool. Like, obviously, like most of the stuff you've done has not had sequels for the most part. It's all like within the superhero universe,
Right.
but there's never been an issue two of anything until this series. And I know that from just our past conversation. I mean, this is jumping ahead, but I know that you're taking a little bit of a break after seven, and you're gonna do some other stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm planning on building the whole yesterday, actually, funny enough, I spent a long time getting my timeline sorted out of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this document where it starts in 1952 with Black and Red, and I lay out everything with every single comic I've made of where it lands vis-a-vis the years. Because I have this whole overarching thing that I want to do with all the comics, which means that later on, like I want to do a Tales from the Cosmos 2. I want to do Black and Red, the return of blah blah blah. I want to do I want to build up all the other comics because it's all one big thing.
Are you gonna share that timeline on your Patreon? I'm plugging your Patreon right now.
I think I will now.
Okay, well, there you go. So everybody listening, watching, hit up that Patreon. The link's down below, and then you
Yeah.
can see that timeline. Hopefully, by the time this video drops. And
Mhm.
back to Seal Streets. Yeah, I just look. I mean, again, this is. I don't want to say it's my favorite of your work. Like, I really like the black, white, and red. Like, I love that type of noir stuff. And then Full Power is another favorite of mine. I mean, like, that shit was so dope. Uh, but yeah, this is. I love the energy in this one, and yes, like it's interesting to say that you said the faces look a little cruder
Right.
because they do look a little bit like they do look different going into the second issue, and I wouldn't have imagined that that would have been something that would have been the cause for that is that you drew it at a different size because like I never this is the first
I
I've
mean,
heard you say that.
and also I'm new at I was, extremely new at comics.
Yeah.
So everything that you're seeing on the page, I'm trying things out, I'm like I'm trying to draw people differently. I'm trying to, I'm approaching everything a little differently. Like for example, Hiroshi being on the top there. Like I was wondering whether that was gonna work in the last panel. Yeah, I was wondering if that was gonna come through or not, if that was gonna, so it's little things. Perspective using the bottom view. Yeah, this whole comic was just a big experiment, kind of just a test.
Got Francine there, Franzoni
Yeah,
right there.
yeah, Franzoni.
That's it, dude. That's yeah. I didn't remember it being this short, dude. It's crazy. Get ready to pay, scum. I love that.
Yeah.
That yeah. But
Little
yeah, I
pig
mean, look,
floating
it's.
in
I
the wind.
mean, I know we've talked mostly about about other stuff on this first issue, but look, I mean, this is what kicked it off, and I love this issue. I mean, this is we get some of your famed ads that you make. I love this little author photo you got down there,
Yeah,
cigarette hanging out your mouth. Uh, but yeah, dude, look, this was still year one of the superhero comics. So many good things, dude. You don't have too many of the okay, yeah. So you don't have too many of the fake ads. You got other stuff. Did this ever come out? No.
no, that was a fake thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can't remember seeing this ad. Well, you got to do it now. Hypnotica.
That's why I like to keep people guessing. I don't know what's real and what's not anymore. I did do this fun little, right, I got this little thing made where I was getting my
Yeah.
super universe kind of thing
Hmm.
after that classic Marvel T-shirt,
Yeah.
and yeah, getting all these guys. Like I have these new guys that are gonna come in. This is all from the superhero universe. So I mean, the plans are grandiose. We're gonna try to do something big,
Hell yeah, dude. Got to do like a crossover with everybody.
I mean, yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, that'd
I
be
think
dope.
my desire is by the end of issue 7 or maybe the first issue, like issue 8,
Mhm.
kind of bring everything. Well, already like I tried to do it in issue 5, sending Hank to Hell's Bed to kind of get that going, like to start introducing things into
Mhm.
the other place.
Well, I know this was kind of a short little mini episode going through issue one, but I mean, like you said at the beginning, like this was meant to be a zine. This wasn't really like intended to go further than where it went, but it
Yeah.
did, and it's blown up. And we'll go going through issue two. Uh, well, I'll break kayfabe. We're gonna record issue two right after this is done. But make sure
I
you
won't
follow.
change it.
Make sure you follow Mahdi. Get all the stuff. He's got everything on his website. You can pick up that. Pick up action figures. I know that we got some T-shirts that you can buy from him as well.
Yeah.
And come back next time and check out issue two with us. And also, there's a bunch of interviews that Monty and I have done. We went through Full Power as well, so that'll be in the Mahdi Khene playlist. And on that note, we're out.
Peace.